All right. Ironclad Coffee, thank you for your support of the ASOR Red Live podcast. We are joined now by Jon, the famous Jon of
Hey guys,
KSU Owl Howl. Did I say that right?
works for me. Whatever you get close, I'm fine with it.
Well, first off, my man, what an awesome season for you guys.
Yeah,
Seriously, congrats. First year that Liberty joined the ASUN to where you guys are now. It's been just a really cool trajectory. I just want to start off first. What is the like this year meant to you as someone who's been a fan? Because we were fans of Liberty when there wasn't, some
yeah.
of the best days.
I wasn't. We won a D2 national championship in like 2004. I obviously wasn't around back then, following the team. So I started following about 2008, 2009 or so, and we've sucked ever since. So it's a very weird, surreal feeling. Since our football program started in 2015, we've kind of been a football school more or less, and now the football team had a down year, and now the basketball team has the first good year, and it's just really bizarro. It's like the sports flip-flopped on campus all of a sudden. But it's amazing. I can feel the energy. I have people texting me, DMing me all the time saying, "Wait, we don't suck anymore? Is this for real? Are we good now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been talking about KSU sports. I haven't talked to you since like 2014. I mean, now you're messaging me? Okay, cool."
Welcome back.
Yes.
What do you think the atmosphere will be like on Thursday night?
I think it'll be really good. We usually draw, of course, better on Thursdays because the students are on campus. Saturday games, the attendance has been a little bit lackluster. I didn't check on Thursdays, but Saturdays have been like 1,900, almost 2,000 the last couple weeks, I believe. I'm expecting it to be surprisingly good, and we're 12-0 at home. And I wouldn't put it past the Kennesaw State students and the alums to, they're really pushing Kennesaw State basketball in the community now. In the athletic, some of the local publications, the word is getting out. So, if the word gets out enough, and I'm sure the students are all aware, it could be the biggest atmosphere since Georgia Tech came on campus and we beat them in like 2010, 2011. So I'm looking forward to it and seeing what happens.
Jon, who is maybe the one player that you think is maybe the biggest key for Kennesaw in this game?
I mean, obviously, if you just look at the stats and, you might say one of two players. Most people will probably say Chris Youngblood, but I'd say Terrell Burden. And he kind of struggled. He had a good game, a really good game this past Saturday, but he struggled on Thursday. And, the announcers say it all the time on the Kennesaw games, and it's true. He's the engine. We have such a balanced offense, and it's tough for me to, in the past, when a couple of years ago, it was like a Spencer Rogers show. Spencer Rogers is not shooting. We're not going to win. We're not going to play well. But this year, you just have so many guys, and I find myself asking myself the question: if I could remove one guy from this team, and it would hurt them the least. There's four starters that I probably couldn't, really pick from easily. But I'd say Burden is the guy to watch. You got to stay in front of him. He's lightning quick. He's the guy. He has, his body language is, kind of calm demeanor. But at the end of the game, he's a killer when it counts most. And he will get to the basket. He will make you foul him. He works doing it so much better than when he first came to Kennesaw. He used his angles so well around the basket, forcing teams to either give up the hoop or foul him. So he's the guy that, I think you got to watch. And his passing has improved in three-point shooting. If you look at his year-to-year numbers, it was something like 10, 20, then 28%. Now it's probably around 40 to 50%. So I think he's the guy.
I wanted to ask you about Chris Youngblood. His efficiency numbers are through the roof. I mean, just shooting great from the free throw line, shooting great inside the arc, shooting really, really good from 3-point. Does he not take enough shots, like looking at his numbers, or is the fact that he isn't taking as high of a volume this year, is that what has made him as good as he's been?
Yeah, I think he plays through the rhythm. I think the team plays very well. As coach says, connected, fist, all that kind of stuff. I think we move the ball really well. And that's something we've done this year as opposed to previous years. We used to, turn it over. Guys didn't really, know where the other one was going, that sort of thing. I think Chris, he's the highest rated prospect in school history. He was like probably, some will say 4, some will say 3. I think he's like a high 3 bordering on a 4 when he came here. We got him just before he really took off and stuck with him. We took his high school teammate Stroud, and then we took Kason Jennings, who knew Stroud and Youngblood well and is from the area. And you have the base for those three right there. But anyways, Youngblood, he plays within the offense. He has such a quick pull on his 3-point shot. And this team has a knack for always hitting the big three, whether it's Youngblood, Stroud. When you think, oh, the other team's about to make a comeback, somebody comes down and splashes one out of nowhere. But yeah, he's very efficient. He's expanded his game tremendously. When he was a freshman, he was just a spot up 3-point shooter. Now he can put it on the ground. He can, he's hitting 86% from the free throw line. And his catch and shoot is tremendous, especially when he's on. You can't leave him at all because it's just such a quick ball.
Hey, it's gonna be a great game, John. It's thanks for joining us. It's cool to see a face to the Twitter handle.
Absolutely.
And I've always enjoyed interacting with you. And I'm a fan of all things Atlanta for the most part, Braves, Hawks.
So
I've enjoyed watching.
Let me turn you right now.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Join the owl side.
Whoa. But yeah. Let's not get too crazy, John. But hey, I think what Kennesaw has done is very much parallel to Liberty's success as far as the upward trajectory that the programs are on. And so I've been enjoying watching Kennesaw rise. And are the Kennesaw folks looking at this game potentially as kind of the starting point of a rivalry, since we're going to Conference USA together and all of that stuff?
That's tough to say. I haven't heard any of that rivalry talk. I think we actually have to win something first before we can stake claim to that. So, I think if we win this game and, or if we win the conference at the end of the day and win the tournament, then yeah, I think, absolutely we can get something brewing. The problem is that we have that gap year in between where we're kind of floating around in the middle of nowhere while you guys are already in Conference USA. But before I head out, I just want to ask you guys one quick question, okay? Will you guys be making the trip to Kennesaw for the conference tournament finals?
No.
Just wondering.
I'll probably be headed to Lynchburg for that one, but yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a lot nicer weather down here, so I think it should be held here. So
I love the punch. Yeah, I forgot you guys have that gap here. You guys could really have a great season in the ASUN next year if most of your guys are juniors, right?
Oh yeah, I think everybody can come back if they wanted to, except for Peterson and Rogers. And heck, I mean, at this point, you have to start worrying about the coach. If things get too crazy, because he has done a tremendous job of keeping the team together, even when I thought things were okay. We're gonna max out being a little above average. I was losing a little bit of faith, and then finally, a couple months ago, we started to really pull it together, and I think that was the turning point. And Coach Shamir, I think he says Kennesaw State is not a stepping stone. Famous last words for every coach, but I think he's going to have to. He could leave. If he got a good offer, he could leave this year. He could stay, and then he has the option of continuing the success with all his guys, having them all graduate, and making the leap next year. So he has some options. Or if he wants to stay and run a dynasty, go for it. But money talks. So I understand that.
John, I got one last question for you. You guys have won. Kennesaw's won a lot of really close games this year. You guys have a double overtime win, an overtime win. You just beat Jacksonville State at the buzzer. A couple other games, I think, came down to the final possessions. What has kind of been Kennesaw's secret sauce with that? What has been the key to all those big close wins?
I'd say experience. Definitely number one. We're the 57th oldest team in the country. These are the type of games that we lost last year, and don't even get me started on the years before. But those 50-50 type games, like last year we played a lot of games. We went up big, they came back, it was just uneven. This year, when it's crunch time, the guys aren't panicking. They know what to do. They've been there before. And, for example, the Bellarmine game, we had more depth than them. We wore them out. Eastern Kentucky was a 50-50 game, and playing a team 2 times in a row. This past week, Jacksonville State, honestly, I feel like we didn't have the same intensity that we even did the week before, and especially the week before that when we were rolling off all those wins. So I do have a little bit of concern how we come out against Liberty. I do think the home crowd will juice us with the environment, and we'll need that. But, I just don't think we've had that same pep in our step that we did, the prior month.
Yeah, John, I was going to ask, do you feel like the moment is too big for Kennesaw? I mean,
No.
most of our group has played in, if not one NCAA tournament, two NCAA tournaments, with Blake and Darius being on the team before COVID. But or do you feel like that experience doesn't matter, that you feel like pretty good about it, and that you guys are the Bron breakers of the league, but you're not the Roman Reigns yet.
Shout out to Bronson Rechsteiner, KSU alum, Bron Breaker, NXT WWE. But as far as that goes, we played a double overtime game against Bellarmine. We should not. I don't think that game should have been double overtime in terms of we should have taken care of it. We ended up essentially, I think, hurting ourselves, and it just rebounded to the next game against Eastern Kentucky. I think that extra 10 minutes of play was the difference. And then, we looked a little fatigued versus Jacksonville State. So, we do play a physical game. Burden is, the smallest player on the court, but he is he has a huge heart, probably the biggest vertical on the team. He just can wear them. I think the team just wore themselves out a little bit. So hopefully we can recover. And it's really, all a matter of fresh legs, because the difference, I think, this past weekend, especially in that first game in Jacksonville State, is just shots falling. The shots that we're making when we're going good are shots that kind of rim out, versus Jacksonville State. So we just need to keep our percentages up, do better from the free throw line. I know Liberty, everybody's shooting like 85% plus. Youngblood's a great free throw shooter. Spencer Rogers shooting 69%, which is tremendous. And we have some other, we need our bigs to really improve there. Peterson, Stroud, and Robinson. Those guys are dicey from the line, but they seem to usually come up big when we really need one.
Awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for taking some time to join us. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully we could chat again before an ASUN final. That would be fun. That'd be a fun time.
Let's do it in person. I'll book a pub in Kennesaw. Guys, come down.
Can we go to the Pie in the Sky restaurant?
Absolutely. Will you guys do that? What's it called? The challenge with me, where you eat the giant pizza?
The carnivore challenge.
Carnivore challenge. Yes, that's it. Who's with me on that? Okay, no one's going to commit.
We'll take you to some good Lynchburg establishments.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks so much, John. We appreciate it.